What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the second episode of 86. This one's titled Spearhead. And yeah, this was a very solid start to the show last time out. And I'm very much into it. I feel like there's going to be a lot to go on. And knowing that this is going to be multi-core, although split core, is very, very reassuring. Because whilst we're getting the 11 episodes now, we're then going to have another at least 11 next time out. Hopefully 12 or 13. If it's going to follow anything like previous split core shows, such as Reincarnated Slime or Mariah the Patriot or something like that. I also think split core is just the way to go in future. I feel like split core shows allow you to do a multi-core story, but also giving your production team time to actually get that second core out, because I think we kind of saw it with Spider episode 14, how production issues and time constraints can really start to hamper it if you're going at a breakneck pace every week. So, yeah, I think split core is the future for multi-core productions, if I'm honest, and I think more and more shows will switch to that. But anyway, that's something else entirely. So 86, the 86ers, essentially, are what are piloting our drone juggernauts, I think they're called, right? Juggernauts are our ones, and then the enemy ones are called something different. I forget what they're called, though. But they are the 86ers. They are... as far as I'm aware, the undesirables almost. They're almost like the District 13 of the Hunger Games universe, to an extent. I don't know how much of a parallel that will end up drawing, or if it's just a coincidence. I also believe that the term 86, it does mean something as well. Like, I've heard people say, like, if you've been 86'd, you've been, like, discarded, or, like, you're undesirable, or something like that. I believe there is a terminology for that. I've never personally heard that, but you guys have mentioned it, so maybe they are intentionally using that as well as a play on it. But we've got a lot of weird things going on. Like, this war seems to be, I wouldn't say planned necessarily, but expected to end in, like, 2 years, which seems very weird. You never really plan for a war to end like that, like, very knowingly so. Like, it very much reminds me of, like, oh, the war will be over by Christmas mentality of the First World War, and then it became 4 years long. Kind of reminded me of that in a way. And then you're also with the master race ideology thing going on within the Republic. Yeah, because we're the Republic, we're fighting the Empire. We've not seen anything of the Empire, and I doubt we will for a long, long time anyway. I don't think they're important right now. I think we're focusing on the Republic now and the 86ers and building up our team. Then we might care about what the Empire's doing more than anything. But yeah, the Republic is just full of the same population with the same hair color, same eye color, all the same. But then as soon as you see the 86ers, they are of a different... just everything. Hair's different, eyes are different. Like, that is obviously intentional. I wonder how we got to that point, because you have to make a very, very conscious effort to achieve that level of, like, racial identicalness, essentially. Like, that's not something you can just do overnight. So it makes me wonder how that became to be. Like, there's a lot of history to this world that I'm kind of really curious about, that I'm sure will develop as time goes on. How the Republic came to be this way, why the war between the two even started. Like, is it because of the Republic's ideology with this, that the Empire's like, hell no, we will never infringe our people's identity like that, or something? I even saw Net put out the theory of, what if this was a planned war between them just so the Republic could get rid of the people they don't like? Like, that would be one hell of a storyline. But it does seem odd that the Juggernaut technology is so inferior to what the Empire has. It does seem a bit like it very much is cobbled together technology versus an enemy that is far, far more prepared for this war, which makes me think they were the ones to declare war because they knew they had the upper edge, and then this was just scrambled up to save them. But I don't know how much of that is true, because they don't seem very concerned about the status of the war, because they know it's going to end in 2 years, apparently. There must be something else going on behind the scenes for them to have that much confidence, so I guess we'll see. But we also met Shin, who is the leader of the Spearhead Squadron, also known as the Undertaker, as we saw kind of why at the end of the last episode with the Mercy killing. We also met our our handler, Lena, from the Republic, and Major, I should say. Um, and she has a very different view on the 86ers from what the rest of the military seem to have. And so this is going to make a very interesting combination since the Spearhead Squadron takes pride in the amount of handlers that they've made resign and, to some cases, commit suicide. So I don't quite know how they've managed to go that deep and to destroy someone's morale that hard. I don't actually know how they've done that. So maybe we'll see them try some of those tactics on Lena before realizing, wait, she's different from every other handler we've had. So kind of curious on that aspect as well. Oh boy, I'm very excited to get into this. We're just introducing ourselves to Spearhead, and now we're going to see what ends up happening with that. So I'm excited. Whether we'll get more combat today, I don't know, but I'm very excited to see, because this is also a very visually impressive show, thanks to A1 Pictures, obviously. So visually impressive. Sound design has been really good so far. I'm loving the setting and the world history, because I'm already digging into questions about it just on one episode. So high praise for the start of this show anyway. So with all that said, let's start getting ready. So as per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture in picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all Patreon picture reactions I do on the channel, with everything from the seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Log Horizon, and Symphogear G. We also have movie reactions in the form of Weathering Review, the movie coming later this month as well. It will either be on a Monday or a Saturday, depending on when I get to it. But it will be done this month, so if you become a Patreon today, you'll have access to that going forward. But yeah, here on YouTube we have to do time-based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3 to 1 play, then play start the episode, I start the episode, and we should be in sync. We are watching this one on Crunchyroll since they're the ones who licensed it. We're looking at a weird blue crystal thing. I think it's like the way they're communicating in this world between HQ and Spearhead. I think that's what that's focusing on. I can't remember though. But you can use Screen Flash on my face on the mic to tell when the scene's transitioning. Also this part of my headset as well, since it's very reflective. And then we should be good to go. So second attempt, because I somehow managed to mess that one up. Let's get into this week's episode in 3, 2, 1, play. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. OP time. Yep. Alright. Here we go. Hmm. 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 Okay. I'm guessing they've already used parts from someone who was. Hmm. Okay. Already setting herself apart. So many. God, that's way too many. Way, way, way too many. Shows how expendable they are, though, doesn't it? 29, so a week later. I wonder if that image is going to change by the end of the series or not. Be interesting. Hmm. What? The hell is that? Okay, two swarms. Oh, hello. Interesting designs. Hmm. It's a big one in the back there. Legion, right? My scouts, okay. Growlwolf Dragoon type. The Verva, okay. They're disruptions for electronics, okay, makes sense. Nice. Snow Witch, okay. Isn't she... She's the one that actually has a similar appearance to those in the Republic. That feels relevant. Why did she end up here? This combat, I love it. There's Black Dog. Again with that noise interference. Oh. Long range gunner scorpions, okay. Nice. Hmm. Whew. Nice. The smoke effects are super good in this. Oh. Very liquidy there, but whatever. Very mobile as well, which I love. They're not staying still, they're using momentum. Mm-hmm. That was nice. That was a nice sequence. Basically a flawless mission, right? It's a cool shot. Episode 2 Spearhead. It's only half the episode. You see it from her perspective. Empire did declare war 9 years ago, okay. So that would make it an 11-year war for some reason. Okay. So we've had 9 years and we haven't got anything better than Juggernauts? Oh. Interesting. That's implying that the Legion are out of control. But what if someone can supply the Legion? Sure. Yeah, that's the narrative, isn't it? She's speaking out, though. Mm-hmm. Okay. They only lasted 2 weeks. That makes sense, right? That's when the district system was put in place. Okay. Special wartime peace preservation. Okay. That's when it enacted. Okay. Wow. That's extreme. 86 districts. Straight drop and all that. They're forced to build the wall. No human casualties. Hmm. That's the narrative. Nope. Oh, you have. Hmm. Okay, but doing it that way. Hmm. Unless you, yeah, the society is. It's also only a 57 mil gun. That's kind of small. No wonder they lack firepower. Hmm. She won't get through to them. It's episode 2. No matter what she says. You'd think, right? The uncle's not going to support you forever. Hmm. That's. Oh, I don't know how you reverse something like that. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Just as it. Well, we'll see. They're all the same? Or what? Hmm. Okay, ED time. We've got long after credits then, because this is very, very early into the episode. Interesting choice. I like that they're reusing this shot though, it's nice. Yeah, and that's Solano. Wonder if they'll be updating this as the episodes go on with scenes relevant from the episode. Because it's a very simple ED visual. Alright, after credits. Although, it might as well just be this. Oh, hello. Training. Hmm. That's a good question, actually. Why is she here? The fact that she's here has me even more curious because she is very similar. It looks like maybe the eye color is just slightly the wrong shade. If she got sent here for that, that would be very extreme. I like Fido as well. Fido's cute in his own way. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Piff, yeah. Hmm. I doubt that. There's no way they let them integrate back in. There's no way. Hmm. I don't want to die. Oh boy. That's a title. Okay, we got a lot of information that time. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to try and make sure I get my head around all of this and get it completely right. So, the war started when? 11 years ago, did they say? Was it 11? Here we go. Let's see. So 9 years ago, stellar year 2139, that's when war was declared by the Empire. So they declared war on us then. They began with their autonomous legion. But we estimate, in fact, that they've been wiped out by its own out-of-control legion 4 years prior. And so, assuming we have a 6-year operating time... Okay, so they meant 4 years prior, not 4 years prior to them starting to war, but 4 years prior to current time. So, 9 years ago they declared war. 5 years later, we now have... so 9 years ago they declared war. 5 years later, the Legion is now out of control and decimates their own empire that they were created from. And now, 4 years after that, present time, we are still fighting, and we believe we have 2 years left before the operating time of them expires. That's great. That sounds like it would work. But, I just want to go back. We estimate that, in fact, they've been wiped out by its own Legion 4 years prior. We estimate. An estimate like that, how do you not know what's happening in the Empire? You have absolutely no espionage on them at all. You're just assuming that the Legion is just autonomous on its own and is only capable of its own current lifespan. That's a dangerous assumption to be under. That's a very dangerous assumption to be under. Oh, we just need 2 more years, we'll be fine. I would not trust that at all. Now, the Empire being wiped out by its own autonomous legion, that seems something that could happen. I would not be surprised if that had happened, but depending on how advanced the Legion are, would they have wiped them out entirely, or could they have enslaved? Who's to say that the Legion... I don't want to say the Legion also have human pilots, because I feel like such a discovery would have been made by Spearhead Squadron by this point. By seeing the wreckages, you'd see human remains. But what if there is an even more advanced form of human piloting in the fact that each Legion has a human mind connected to it electronically that controls it, and therefore it has a bit more decision-making capabilities rather than just being autonomous? Because for a Legion to be... Because the Legion seems a bit too organized to just be out of control, you know? It seems like it does have its own tactics and formations that maybe were just imprinted into it when they were first created, and therefore they instinctually just follow it because that's what they've been programmed for. But they seem too advanced to just... They have to have their own decision-making They have to have their own decision-making, methods, or someone still has to be controlling them. I don't believe that it's going to be over in 2 years. I don't believe that for a second. Anything that starts with our estimates, no. I wonder if that's also part of the propaganda, that only the higher-ups would know what's actually going on, or if that's just because them being naive and assuming something. So yeah, we've got... they will complete shutdown in 2 years... Yeah. And then we had... So our army collapsed within 2 weeks of it happening. So yeah, we made the 85 districts at that time, and then we made Special Wartime Peace Preservation Act, which basically was the racial cleansing of the Empire. Sorry, the Republic. The Empire might have done something similar. Who knows? But yeah, the racial cleansing for the Master Race, of which this one girl is very, very similar. Where is she? Mom. Show me a shot of that, please. There she is. Hair color is right, from what I can see. I'm thinking her eye color might not be. Because her eye color looks a lot more blue than those we've seen of others. Can I get a shot of our commander here somewhere? Where is she? No, it's very similar. It's hard to tell. It's so similar, though. Like, the hair and eye color are very, very similar, but why would she be there with 86 if she was like this? Also explains why there are so many, so many 86s, because, yeah, I mean, that hair and eye color, why specifically was that hair and eye color chosen? I'm going to guess the leader probably was that, or whoever enacted it was that of that color, and decided, you know what, no, because I am the savior of the Republic, and this is my Republic, then, therefore, this is the ideal trait, essentially. I assume that might have been part of the decision-making behind it. In which case, gives us a bit, well, it doesn't give us much of a context clue as to who could potentially be in charge. But it does mean we have a finite number of Republic soldiers. Unless... Because, yeah, we don't see anyone... We only see our age here. Unless there is, in the 86th district, there is actually a more civilized area that does function as a normal city. But because we're on the front lines, obviously we don't get to see it because we're at a staging base or whatever. That'd be interesting. That was a lot of history dump right there in one go. Like, holy hell, that was a lot of history dump. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But yeah, we can see, okay, so they've got a high-frequency blade, they've got 50 cals, they've got a 57mm smoothbore, and 57mm is decent in its own right, but it's not phenomenal. It really isn't that phenomenal. Like, 57mm, what would you see a 57mm on? I guess, whatchamacall it? I forget what it's called, but I think Bagel Panzer uses a 57, probably. 57's a good AA gun, though. Like, you get the French, if you get the French 57mm. Maybe this is meant to be like the French 57mm, though that wasn't necessarily... I don't know, French 57mm could be good. But yeah, French 57mm AA guns are pretty decent. Although everyone was pretty much using 40mm at that point, just because both of us, but, you know. I am a bit of a military nerd in a slight aspect. I spent many years with war games and such, so I'm kind of familiar with gun caliber techs and things like that, so I kind of go in on this stuff a bit. Hang on, let me just go back here. Crunchyroll, please, go back here. Show me that spec again. Unmanned tactical M4A1. Is the M4A1 actually a M4A1? It's the carbine. Was it a designation of Sherman? Because Shermans were M4s. M4A1... Ah, that's a shame. The M4A1s actually use 76mm, not 57s, so... did the French retrofit one with a, Oops. Did they retrofit it with a 57mm by any chance? No, they didn't. Okay. They still kept it with a 75mm. I was about to say, if they put like a 57mm on a Sherman tank, maybe that's what they were basing it on, but no. Just interesting, they used M4A1. Public Military Industries, 10 meters long, 2 meters high, 57mm gun, the 2 blades, and you've got the big old magazine in the back there. Probably could redesign that magazine to hold more rounds, really, because it seems quite cumbersome to try and reload this thing. Anyway, yeah, I like that they went the extra effort into putting those blueprints and the stuff up because it looks really, really cool. But the Legion, man, Legion have far greater variety of, like, they outpace us military so much. So much. The fact that we're even holding on is sheer luck almost at this point. That we've got such combat-capable human pigs, essentially. But yeah, that was a nice episode for establishing a lot. It establishes why they think 2 years the war will be over. I don't think that's true. I think it is likely that maybe the Legion has wiped out its own people, but I don't believe that the Legion will just stop after 2 years. I believe something or someone is going to keep supplying them, and they'll just be surprised at that because it feels too simple just to say, oh yeah, we win in 2 years anyway, let's just see how many survive. Also, the fact that people will leave service after 5 years, no way. They're not getting reingratiated into society because in no shot have we ever seen someone not of this hair color and eye color anywhere within the Republic. Anywhere. So there's no way they just become, like, they view you as human pigs. Of course they're not just going to suddenly let you be in society after working you for 5 years. You're expendable. They don't give a shit. I don't know what they'll do to you. I don't know if they will just execute you, but I feel like you try and... Why arbitrary 5 years? 5 years military service is actually kind of short. I'd have thought they'd at least try and get 10 years out of them, unless part of the technology with the Juggernauts requires them to be of younger age, for them to be more effective, I don't know. But, yeah. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe the war's just going to end in 2 years, because that seems unlikely. And, yeah, the Legion, so much more advanced, I feel like they'll be able to supply themselves in some way, either through their own independent means somehow, or the Empire actually is still up and running. But yeah, I guess we'll see. But very, very good episode. A lot of info dump, and like I said, I'm very invested into it already, so I'm very excited to see where the future goes with it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the ones as usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 line you can find here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time. See you guys later.